What would you guys do if I told you that the cosmological map is a fucking lie? If I told you that it was a complete and utter scamaz, what would you say? Alright, this was actually not even something I wanted to discuss tonight. By the way, this is one of the videos I wanted to make, but fuck it, map time. Cosmology, map. Wow, let's do this. It's always map time on the Shill Show. Can we get some fucking love and chat for the map of World of Warcraft? Because this map has been on this channel more times than I can fucking count, dude. This map is what made this channel, right? This channel is built on this map. But alright, let's quickly discuss this. This entire map, as you see it here, is a lie. None of this is real. So before we get into anything, and this is not speculation, this is how I look at it. This is what I view the cosmological forces as, and in order for you to understand how I came up with this theory, you sort of have to understand how I see the cosmological forces. I don't see them as forces. I see them as civilizations, as beings, as entities, right? So either multiple first ones controlling a single cosmological force, or a single first one controlling a single cosmological force. But either way, either a civilization or an entity. Listen to this. When the Titans describe the beginnings of the universe, they say that in the beginning there was an ocean of light. This is in the Chronicles, right? There's an ocean of light, and this ocean of light explodes outwards into the great beyond. And wherever the clashes between the light and the void was fiercest, in those pockets formed this new dimension, the Foul. The Foul was born. So effectively, the Foul is the children of the light and the void. We, of course, don't get any such in-depth explanations for death, or for order, or for life. But a pretty in-depth explanation for how disorder came to be. Now, disorder by itself is not about destruction, right? So I always describe it as this. If you're an anarchist, and I sometimes view myself as a bit more of an anarchist libertarian than anything else. But if you're an anarchist, right, it's not about destruction of all things. It's about let the chips fall where they may. So there can be order in chaos as long as that order was never enforced, right? That's the basic idea around it. If that order just happened to exist and happened to manifest, then that's fine. But that order may never be forced. That order may never be imposed onto someone. So disorder is not the absence of order. It is simply the absence of authoritarianism, of forced order, if you will. Now, I look at each one of these cosmological forces and I see an entity, because I think it explains it better. I think just looking at them as forces, and these forces fighting over what control should be where, just it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I don't get it on the face of it. Well, fascism is sort of the end result of authoritarianism, right? But in this instance, it's just the imposement of order is the opposite of disorder, right? And that's basically where what it comes down to. Now, in order to understand how this theory came together, I first have to give you what Steve Denuser said. Steve Denuser in an interview made it very clear that every single being that belongs to a specific cosmological force will return to their home cosmological force upon death, right? Most of you that's been on this channel for a while, that's watched all of my videos, you remember that interview, right? But that's not what we see. That's not what we see. So first up, when you get to Ouroboros for the very first time, and we did talk about this last week, Bolvar tells the Faith Scribes that Sylvanas had shattered the veil between the Shadowlands and Azeroth. The Faith Scribe continues to say, with the veil between life, capital L, and death, capital D, not looking for the D, just capital D, death, shattered. The balance of the universe is about to shatter, right? So I'm paraphrasing the last bit, because the last bit of it, I genuinely can't remember what the last bit was, but it came down to, if that veil truly is shattered, the world is fucked. But that immediately caught my attention. Capital L, capital D. Why? Why do the Fate Scribes refer to the Great Beyond? According to this picture, if you look at this fucking picture, where is life and where is the Great Beyond? They are not the same thing, right? According to this picture, reality, the Great Beyond, and life is not the same thing. Yet according to this Fate Scribe, the veil between life and death has been shattered, or have been shattered, whichever way is the right English way to say that. Inglando, sometimes hard. Anyways, but that's not everything. That's not all of the evidence I had, or have, for why this is a complete schemaz. How many of you are in Bastion? And I realize that most of you don't want to admit that out loud, and I fully understand that. No one wants to admit that they're quite literally in one of the worst covenants in the game. But how many of you are in Bastion? You can say this is a safe space. Alright, so there's a couple of people here that that do find themselves in Bastion for one reason or another, right? Yeah, this is a safe space. No shame on you for admitting here. We'll delete the VOD immediately afterwards, so no one will ever know. Mods, by the way, can you make a list of everyone that just said they are, so that we can keep an eye on them? These people are not to be trusted. But anyways, okay, so if you're in Bastion, right, if you've joined the Kyrian Covenant, you will find out that you eventually get, as part of your Anima Conductor quests, right, there's a quest where you have to go basically learn how the Kyrian sought souls. And I actually have to thank, I can't remember who fucking linked this to me. Someone sent me a DM. I believe the DM was on Discord, but I genuinely can't remember who it was now. So if that was you, I am so fucking sorry that I forgot your name. I won't even be able to go back. I get just too many DMs in a day to even know how to go back and find that DM. But someone sent me a DM on Discord telling me about this quest. So you unlock the Anima Conductor and you learn how the Kyrian sought souls. You see how they sought the demons, how they sought the Naru. Then something funny happens. A creature of life dies, and that creature comes to the Shadowlands. Mortals go to the Shadowlands. So explain something to me. If, according to Steve Denuser, every soul that dies will go to its origin, why in the fuck do creatures of life go to where mortals go? Also, why do mortals... It sort of makes sense why mortals would return to death, because we're mortal and therefore we can die, right? The question is just, why do creatures of life end up... Yeah, but according to Steve Denuser, life is one of the cosmological forces. Its beings need to end up back in life to be reborn. Because Steve Denuser didn't make any exceptions there. When he was asked this question, he didn't say, oh yes, all of the cosmological forces, their beings that die return to their origins, and then life doesn't. Life goes to the Shadowlands. And then the Kyrian actually make it even more interesting when they say all creatures of life will return or will go to Ardenweald, but not all creatures of life will return to their homeworlds. Some will have to stay to tend to the zone. This is what's happened to Ysera. The Winter Queen told Ysera straight up, your fate is now tied to the fate of this world. Ysera is now tied to Ardenweald. She will not return to Azeroth. So something smelled fishy. Put together the fact that the denizens of Erebos say the veil between life, capital L, and death, capital D, have been shattered. Put together what you now know about the Kyrian, and here comes... Up until now, none of this has been speculation, by the way. It's all been confirmed knowledge. This is stuff we know. Here comes the speculation theory. What happens when life is left unchecked? Let's taste a little bit of your knowledge of the past here. Do we have any instances in World of Warcraft where life went unchecked? The Evergrowth is what happens when life can do whatever the fuck it wants without anyone stopping it. So maybe I want to revise my initial assertions. Before the Shadowlands launched, I said that the most powerful entity in the universe is death. I wish to revise my answer, Your Honor. The most powerful entity in the universe is life. You see, because life can create without end. It can create as much and as many as it wants. Now we know, again thanks to Steve Denuser, that all of the cosmological forces serve as a way to ensure balance within the universe. Now cast your mind back to the words of the Dark Lady.
I will not become an instrument of death.
So you favor life, is that it?
So you choose life, is that it? But cast your mind back to our Lord and Savior, the Dark Lady. What was her final words to Bolvar?
To wield so much power.
That power will be your prison.
This world is a prison.
And I will set us all free. That's her final words. This world is a prison. What does she mean by that? We've all asked this multiple times. What is she talking about? So let's go back to the beginning. We know what happens when life is left unchecked. So what if this cosmological map was designed by the Titans to hide their greatest secret? When they happened upon the most powerful Titan in existence, this Titan was not one of theirs. Contrary to the popular stories that the Titans tell, that all of them were born in planets inside the Great Beyond, again, an absolute bollocks story, because Order is a realm in and of itself. A creature that comes from Order must be born within Order. So if the Titans are born within the Great Beyond, that would mean, according to what we now know, that all of these Titans are life Titans, which is not true. Aman'Thul is not a life Titan, even if he fucking wanted to be. He has nothing to do with life. The Titans happen upon a new Titan, the most powerful one of them all, because she is not like them. She is called Azeroth. Now cast your minds to H.P. Lovecraft. H.P. Lovecraft, Azathoth, the dreamer, the blind idiot god, the god that lies at the center of the universe and dreams reality. This is Azeroth. She is the Titan of life. That's why she is more powerful than any of the other Titans, because if you look at the Eternal Ones and you look at the Titans, they are the same, but they're also very different. They realize that if this Titan wakes up, they don't have a chance in fucking hell of stopping her. And so they imprison her. They make her into a prison, so that life can be its bitch. You see, the Titans want order, but they also want balance, because that's what order wants. You see, the Titans couldn't allow life and death to go around unchecked, doing whatever it wanted to do. Sylvanas has words, and this I have to thank Vizay for. Vizay is she's a Twitch streamer and a friend of the channel. She's been on the channel for quite a while. She actually linked me, and I have an entire video on this. But Vizay actually linked me a screenshot on Twitter where Sylvanas at the start of Legion, you guys remember the intro quest for Legion, right? At the very beginning of Legion, Sylvanas says the following. Let's just quickly go to my Twitter and find it, to my fucking Twitter. Sometimes I don't mind social media, and sometimes I fucking hate it. But anyways, here we go. So this is what Sylvanas says, right? No, the Forsaken will never stop fighting, not while I reign. Not when there are still beings out there with the power to stop death. Right? Now, many people have their own ideas and their own thoughts, and that's fine, right? My thought on this aligns with this theory, which is why I love it. I love it because, if I am correct, the Titans invaded the realms of death. They imprisoned the Lord of Death. And by the way, I don't think that the Lord of Death is Zuval. Someone brought up on Discord, and I'm just going to leave you guys with this thought because I don't know what to make of it. But someone asked the following question. I can't remember who it was. But they asked, what if Zuval, the runes on Zuval's body, right? What if Zuval himself is a prison? What if he is a prison that houses something far more dark and evil? What if he was turned into a prison? He is the prison for death. So where is his soul? Where is Zuval's soul? It's on Azeroth. When the Titans invaded the realms of life and death, they had to link them. How did they link them? They took a soul of their own brother, of an Eternal One, and they planted it on Azeroth. This would link these two realms forever. This would give them the ultimate power, because now they could control the flow of anima. All of this is about anima. Life creates anima. Anima is the most powerful commodity in the universe. So where is his soul? Now, this has been floated again on Discord. By the way, if you're not on Discord, you are missing the fuck out. If you're not on Discord, you are missing out. The amount of theories and discussions that happen on Discord, it's disgusting. It is disgusting. It will blow your fucking mind. You think, Shadowbringer, you think that shit's too complex? Wait till you join Discord and you learn that there is a theory, fully fledged now, that Draenor and Azeroth is the same place. And by the way, Steve Denuza's words have not stopped that theory. They've just adapted. They've changed the theory. They've figured out how to get around what Steve Denuza said. There's plenty of theories that is even darker, deeper, and more fucked up than that. But yeah, so yeah, just know that. So they connect life and death to ensure that they could control the flow of souls for all eternity, to ensure that they could control the power of the world. Now, where is that soul? And this was sort of floated on Discord, and well, it's as good an explanation as any. We are told that there is something dark under Tirisfal Glades. Now, many people go, dude, it's the Cathroxy. Of course it is. We've seen them in Legion. What are you even talking about? Here's the question, though. If you are an old god, would the soul of an Eternal One not be a decent prize? Would that not be something that pretty much interests you? What do you think, chat? Because I think that's something that the Void would 100% want, is a soul of an Eternal One. And to just say that darkness that they felt, I mean, the darkness actually drove them crazy. The fact that that's just a Cathroxy, that's a little bit stupid to me. But if it's a soul, an actual soul of the Dark One, now that's something I could get behind. So what do you guys think? Chat? Anyone in chat? I want to hear your thoughts right now.